It is the final welcome back here to Heroes of the Dorm for this weekend because guess what? We are tied 3-3 in the very last match of the day between Indiana and Illinois. My name is Day9, joined by Grubby and Trixler. We have seen a series of increasingly awesome matches, and I'm thrilled that this is finally the first 1-1 that we have seen all day.
Yeah, heading now into match 3 finally, and real nail-biter. A nice comeback there by Team Mighty Churros. They've known each other for 5 years already, and in the end, their camaraderie managed to have them climb out of that valley they were in and equalize with the opponent.
And game number 3 for the Mad Banners is going to be an interesting one, as Cursed Hollow is actually a battleground that Abathur can be very strong on. They seem to really enjoy that pick, the Illidan Abathur type of composition. So for the Churros, I'm looking at them to pick up Sylvanas again. Sylvanas is really good at locking down Illidan and really allowing your teammates to kind of deal with them really quickly.
The Illidan Abathur combo is proving to be a potent one. As we step in and take a look at Cursed Hollow, we'll see a little bit of why Abathur might be a favorite pick on this upcoming map. As always, the 3 lanes define the Heroes of the Storm maps, the tug of wars. That is all punctuated by the tributes. If you collect 3 tributes, you curse the enemies, sending their minions down to 1 hit point, disabling all their defensive structures, and suddenly you have the opportunity to push. To aid you, there's a variety of different mercenary camps, 6, the largest number on any of the battlegrounds available in Heroes of the Storm. This gives you a huge amount of options, and with the size of Cursed Hollow, I believe the largest map in the entire map pool, the largest battleground, means that being able to zip around quickly is an essential component to a good team strategy. And of course, one of the reasons why Abathur works out so nicely.
Yeah, Abathur can put a lot of pressure on lanes. Again, we've already seen it in the smaller maps, but imagine that to be magnified just a little bit more just because you have so much space to work with. So we'll see if that's picked up here for Illinois, as they've been picking it the last couple of games now. Of course, they could change up their strategy, which I would love. It's always fun to watch the different strategies played by the same teams.
Now, there's still a number of heroes we haven't seen for the first time yet, and let's see if that happens here. For now, none of us too surprised by the early picks of Sylvanas, Tyrande, and Vala, some of the most potent damage dealers from a distance. So we're going to move on there to Diablo. Indiana is choosing to not allow Illinois to have Diablo Tyrande roaming composition.
Right, and of course picking up 2 essential damage dealers,
Yeah.
Vala and Jaina, always very, very nice to have. Now you'll note that Illinois does not yet have any big damage dealers in the same league as Vala and Jaina, and how interesting going for Uther. And I love the Zagara choice on this particular map because she is so excellent at pushing lanes, and given that the top and the bottom are very far away from the rest of the map, sometimes Zagara can be left alone in peace, and especially with Sylvanas pushing another lane, can be double trouble.
You could also put down a lot of creep tumors as well because there's so much space, which means people aren't going to be moving towards the area to kind of really deal with all of your creep tumors. So it's potentially a possibility for, you see that, it's her trait. She just pops it down in the area. It gives her vision, also movement speed, and also a little bit of healing too. So a nice trait. She has some barraging available with her Banelings, the Hunter Killer. It's very good against individual heroes. And of course, Infested Drop, great for poking down tributes.
Oh yeah, it's a really interesting salad of abilities that is really the cherry on top of the salad is, of course, Devouring Maw, one of the essential team fight abilities that really define many of the most interesting team fights we've seen in this game. In terms of the last pick, what is it going to be? Rhaegar, an all-around very solid composition from Indiana. It's no nonsense. There's no insane wombo combo as part of it.
Now, Dana, it makes sense to go with Rhaegar, who has the highest burst healing in the game with his ancestral healing. There is a 1-second delay on having it go off, but it makes sense because Illinois, they have a lot of stuns and they have Tyrande. They'll be focusing a single target, so it's very important to try and mitigate that. Awesome. Stitches!
Illinois bringing in the power player here, the hook. He can grab heroes from across the screen. If his hook hits him, it'll pull him back to his team. This guy is a playmaker, and he's very good on Cursed Hollow in particular because there's a lot of nook and crannies that can fit his big body into it, of course, pull people in.
And in fact, the entire team composition works well with what we call picks. Oftentimes, you'll be trying to find counterattack routes or good initiation into a fight. Illinois, it works very nicely with Stitches to grab a single character, pull him towards the rest of your team, and just pick off that one single character. And then, as Grubby has said many times before, a 5v4 is pretty easy to win no matter which buttons you're pressing. So as we hop into the game...
I have never said that. But it's true, Day9. Very, very astute reasoning of you.
On the left side of the map in the blue trunks, the mighty Churros representing Indiana University, and on the right, in the red, the Mad Banners. It is Illinois with no nonsense, all getting ready for all 5 to trundle out the front.
And really quickly, I just want to show you at home what Stitches can do. All these little nook and crannies here and these areas are very, very strong for him to be able to pull people in and really help out with picks. He has so many areas. In fact, I might as well just color his entire map because there's so many spots for him. So watch out for Stitches to be a nuisance, if you will, to the opposing team. They have to be on point with their positioning, or potentially they could lose a game very, very quickly if they get picked off.
And there we go, Stitches positioned exactly in one of those areas. I do have to say one of the most obvious ones, and it would be a major blunder if Indiana University went so far as to get called out by that. Now, Stitches reveals himself and the gig is up. It was just a little bit of a potential opportunity to get an early pick off, but for now, everyone is starting to split off at the bottom lane. We've got Indiana University putting 3 of their heroes together there with Jaina, Diablo, and Rhaegar.
I think this is an absolutely fantastic move. Take note of this, what Wilted, Kaze, and Electra are doing. Zagara, Mr. Burks, so good at pushing a lane. Don't let her. Pile your team there to try to counter it. The issue is that at the far opposite side, in the Northlands, we're seeing that Sylvanas is basically going uncontested. And quite honestly, I think that this is going to be better for Illinois.
Yeah, if Indiana could have a free pass at redistributing how they would do the heroes, it will be Vala at the bottom and the other 3 heroes here at the top. I'm pretty sure about that. But the main reason that we have those 3 heroes at the bottom for Indiana University is because those are the 3 heroes without an escape. At least, yeah, Rhaegar, Jaina, Diablo, they cannot escape easily. At least Vala has that vault in order to potentially get away.
The pressure, though, coming from Mr. Burkies in the bottom lane is still enough to keep those 3 members down. And let's go back to the top lane, because again, this is the story right here. What can they get before tributes pop? If they can get a couple of turrets, that's great, A+. If they don't get any turrets, it's actually a better position for Indiana University. You want to grab that advantage because you're putting all of your stock, all of your power essentially in this top lane. And it looks like they will secure the turrets really quickly here. Graves Robber, try as he might, he's not able to actually hold this off. And he also has to be careful because of Wrath in that hook.
Yeah, exactly. And level 4 is reached now thanks to taking those turrets down, giving them that experience boost. Indiana University isn't happy with that situation anymore, but they're responding a little bit late. Now sending up Diablo here and Rhaegar as well, but they don't have a lot of follow-up for a flip. So he does the flip, but really, Rhaegar and Vala aren't the type of heroes to deal with that. Nice hook there, Lunar Flare hits on the mark. Nice play by Wrath and Dayun, once again doing plays together, even though they're playing completely different heroes this game.
A truly incredible Lunar Flare. That was very far ahead and just barely hit it with the edge of that hit circle. And we see Wrath without a single issue in the world being able to take the tribute. And I think one of the essential things to note is that Illinois is ahead in experience, and they are ahead in tributes. Very often today, and in previous matches in Heroes of the Dorm, we've seen a player or seen a team get the tribute at the cost of experience by piling too many heroes there.
Trading advantages, and in a deep strategy game like Heroes of the Storm, there's many different kinds of advantages you can have. You can have more objective control, more tributes, you can have more experience, you can have a better positioning, fortification advantage, like you still have more forts up. So to have pretty much all of it for now, even if it's in small dosages, is something that's quite nice for Illinois.
Well, both teams on the map are grabbing their bruisers. On the far right, we see Illinois grab their red bruisers. On the far left, we see Indiana University grabbing their own. But this is a very fortunate spawn here for Illinois, as a couple of their members are already here, setting up to grab the second potential tribute. Let's pull up the minimap, and we see the blue team, a majority of them are all down here in the bottom left. They're going to try and get over there, but it might be a little bit too late.
Yeah, Rhaegar by himself has 0 poke, and he's being blocked out there by Neon, who also does a Lunar Flare. Follow up with the hook, and Wrath will get that wilted down. The Envenom managed to finish him off. Nice play there. Once again by them, doing their abilities in a different order, but still very effective. Oh, wow! Lunar Flare with the Hammer of Justice. Wow.
Wrath has a hook in 4 seconds. He might fish for another. No, decides to pull back, and this is a free second tribute for Illinois. this Stitches pick seems to be working out for them very well.
Yeah, I mean, this was fantastically lucky to have the tribute spawn in the top, but it was also a wonderful education in precisely what we mean by pick. Yoinking in Rhaegar, getting that one. Diablo's trying to run away, stun, getting that one. This is precisely what Illinois is hoping for.
Now, Tyrande went for the ability upgrade at level 7, where she can cast Lunar Flare from a greater distance, and I cannot fault her for that mistake, as she's just been hitting them so well. Can't wait to see what she can do with that range increase. Alright, Tassadar went for the static charge there, doing bonus damage there on each target that he hits after they got Psionic Stormed. Just taking a little bit of the look at the abilities there. Soon there'll be another tribute spawning, and, well, Illinois is quite ahead in level.
Well, it's something to note too is that Illinois realizes that the top of the map for a while had both tributes, which means for the most part it's weighted RNG. The bottom of the map will actually have a tribute pretty soon, and look, it spawns up, and they're set up because they have so much creep tumors here. They own this area. Smart play by them. It was a calculated play.
I love how Zagara and Stitches work together. The creep tumors giving the vision, allowing Wrath on the Stitches to do some good pickoffs. When is he going to fly his hook? There needs to be a follow-up. Everyone arrived. 3, 2, 1. Maybe now comes the hook. No, he's trying to set
Graze
up.
Robber or Kaze. Those are the two heroes that are very important. If he misses the hook, you're going to see Indiana go for an engage. Delectra charges forward, wants to try and pick somebody off. However, Delectra is low on HP. Can he be healed? The tribute is grabbed, but will it cost a hero's life?
Delectra with the amazing disengage, a trait Diablo is not very well known for. There is the attempted yoink. Delectra continues to skirt on the edge of health.
He's so low!
And down he ends up falling, and now Delectra, the big damage absorber at the front line, means Indiana is going to have to retreat to the safety of the fort. And with one tribute being picked up there for Indiana, they do live to see another big team fight at the next arrival of the tribute. Until then, teams spreading out again, splitting, ensuring they have coverage of all 3 lanes.
Yeah, there was a bit of a sacrifice there for Indiana University as Diablo Delectra, he jumped in there, keep away the enemy, and this gave them the tribute, but it in the end costed them 1 hero death.
Remember, the hook is important here. Wrath is setting up in the bush in the bottom right corner. They do see him, though. They're able to use an ability called Clairvoyance, or I'm sorry, Farsight. But here we go. Kaze does get picked anyways, even though they saw Wrath there. Kaze does pull away. Nicely done. Delectra is forcing the engaged out of Haru coming from the top left corner. However, Illinois just hit level 10. They're fully engaging Delectra. In trouble. Back Nessie in trouble as well. But Wilted gets picked off, and 4 members are taken down here for Indiana University. Illinois looking great.
And I love this immediately turning on the boss, not only getting the curse, but getting the boss that's on the opponent's side of things. And I mean, we've been talking about the ability for Stitches from Wrath to pick with the hook, but the putrid bile dropping it all around the enemy team was one of the big reasons that Illinois was able to turn that fight so well.
Yeah, every time you see Stitches weaving through the enemy team there with that green cloud of putrid bile, that is a lot of damage, and it slows the opponent, and it makes it really hard for them to disengage, and that's why they had such a complete team wipe, 4 heroes down.
Now, I gotta ask, Tim, what do you think about this choice to go for the double boss? I mean, I liked the single boss. It was right there. It's not going to affect their pushing too much, but I'm feeling here that they're throwing away the opportunity to take down a fort.
Well, to be fair, Illinois did use a majority of their heroics in that last fight, remember. So instead of playing aggressive and maybe potentially putting themselves in a situation where Indiana defends and gets a couple of nice experience takedowns, they're just going to allow the golem to push down your bottom left corner. Indiana has to deal with this no matter what, or they'll lose their fort. In fact, they may lose it anyways. So with their heroics being down, them using cooldowns, and they also saw 3 members in the middle lane, they realized, you know what, we'll go to the very far top right corner, we'll grab our own golem. It's a safer play, but it's still aggressive in a sense.
Oh, interesting point. And also continuing on that, by having all the objectives just taken in total, it shuts down options for the enemy team. So it means, hey, if you're Illinois, you have the experience lead, you're going to be hitting level 13 quite a ways in front of your enemies. You know the only one place they're going to be at is the next tribute.
So let's just look at the damage really quickly. Pulling up the mini-map, we can see this fort was taken down, this fort was taken down as well from that curse, and we're also having a couple of turrets being taken down currently in the top left corner. Now, they were able to defend that, but that much pressure this early in the game is a pretty big deal.
All right, so we see a big push here in the middle as Illinois is reaching level 13 in just a little bit. They don't want to have this fight happen just yet, though. If they get a good hook on Wrath, I think they would be okay with it. So either they want this fight to start with a hook right now, or they can wait just a little bit, one more minion wave, and they will get level 13, and that will give them a pretty big lead.
They even broke down the walls here, so they have the potential hooks available. Nice play by them. Let's see if Wrath can land something here. He's setting up. You see him posturing here. Day 9, is anything going to happen? Man, I'm so nervous here.
I mean, they're not even making their intentions hidden, taking the wall down right in front of their enemies. Wrath is in the middle. Wrath is leading the front. Wrath is saying, come on, you know you want it. There's the pick. Buck Nasty quickly evades. That was on Tyrande and Uther to do the follow-up stun, but does it even matter? This fort is now going to fall.
Yeah, Sylvanas there disabling that fort, removing any defensive advantage that Indiana University normally would have. Really has got to make Indiana here feel a little bit helpless there under that relentless assault.
Well, Illinois does need to pull back for a little bit. They have to defend the very top, and also a tribute just spawned. They have a little pressure coming in from them, from the blue team grabbing the Giants earlier, and the tribute here in the middle. So they're going to go ahead and defend that, grab their own tribute, and again, safe plays here. Plays that make sense, of course, and at the same time, Indiana University is trying to catch up, experience, map control, all those fun things for them.
And I like you bringing up map control, which is, I think, probably the most important high-level concept. Vision is one of the most valuable resources in the game, if not the most valuable. If you know where your enemies are, one of the big gains that taking these objectives provides you, you can plan very well. So long as your team is communicating and being watchful, you have all the advantage in the world to set up the fight on the grounds that you want to. So as we can see, all the minion encampments have been cleared, and they have all been stopped. And there was an incredible hook there, but still not going to be enough. The Devouring Maw, pretty solid, but are they going to continue or just try to pick off the turrets?
Yeah, that was a nice move by Delectra, immediately doing a shadow charge on one of Illinois' minions that was against his own gate. That's the only way he was able to get away and dodge that Lunar Flare. Now soon another hook available on Wrath, and Delectra jumps in there on the Siege Giant. Did notice that it was in trouble. Will get hooked here. Hammer of Justice, Lunar Flare. Will there be a follow-up of Divine Storm? Beautiful ancestral healing there.
The Divine Storm is huge, though. It hits 4 members. Delectra in trouble. Is finally focused down. A 1-for-1 trade so far for our teams. Wrath charging forward, trying to get Buck Nasty, is going to miss, but that heal was important. However, the follow-up Divine Storm there from the Uther player was fantastic and set up a potential takedown, which could have been more if Indiana did not run away.
Yeah, very wise move there by Kakisho to delay the usage of his Divine Storm. He knew that there was a pretty good chance that Diablo would get healed in time, so he waited until the allies of Diablo rushed to his aid, and he was able to get a lot of them. In the end, 1 takedown each, all 10 heroic abilities used, but map control remains firmly under control of Illinois.
Oh, Graves Robber playing Vala. Queen
No
of
longer.
To be fair, why is Stitches and all them down there, right? They just grabbed the tribute. Maybe they should be grabbing the gold in the bottom right corner or pushing somewhere else. And so she thought, okay, I'm safe a little bit. But you can never, ever feel comfortable around a Stitches until you see their hook used. So Graves Robber getting picked off, unfortunately. Gotta be careful of those bushes, man. Every bush in your mind should have a Stitches sitting in there waiting to pick you off.
And Stitches, he's more than just a hero. He's actually a demoralizing hero. Oh, like he's a tool of demoralization for the opponent, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's like, you guys have all played where it's like, oh, you got hooked by the Stitches, you dummy. And yeah, that's. I mean, I don't know their communication, but it makes you feel bad.
It's frustrating because the displacement that other things cause, like in terms of literal what moves you around, tends to be fairly light, with the exception of Stitch's hook, where you're just suddenly somewhere else and you have enough time to go, oh, well, that's it.
Yeah.
At the same time, we're seeing amazing use of Sentinel by Tyrande to continue to spot, to continue to grab vision, so that way Illinois can maintain map control. And this looks like the big fight that Indiana University might be trying to go for, but Illinois hit 16. They're at the next tier level of talents. That's a massive spike in power, and Illinois already has 2 out of the 3 needed tributes.
And by the way, the bottom left being pushed by a golem. Electra gets caught. There goes the Luna Flare. Nice stun overall. Wrath will help focus it down. Buck Nasty, however, gets caught in the Devouring Maw. All 5 members converge on the area. Day 9, this is not looking good.
Wilted tried to use the ancestral healing, but no dice. Now Graves Robber is going down. Wilted goes into Ghost Wolf mode, trying to run. That is the most demoralizing thing in the universe. In an instant, when everything was looking like, well, we're going to be able to at least escape with the majority of the team. No,
She even sprinted away.
Look, they're ignoring the tribute. Look at the strategy here. Get the golem first so you can capitalize on having the Curse as well as the Golem. And by the way, in the very far bottom left of the map, we actually lost a keep there as we had the Golem take it down. So Illinois was able to grab this keep as well. So right now, they're in a fantastic position. They can keep the pressure up. They can go middle lane. They have so many choices right now where Indiana University has to defend.
Some incredible timing on ultimates and precise clicking on both teams, but in this spot, Illinois got a single advantage and capitalized it in a cascade of edges to now they have the Curse, the Golem. They're taking the opponent's encampments, denying them future opportunities. It's a real beautiful sign of patience from Illinois. No reason to force this game to end soon.
Although I think it's kind of a safe thing to do, to attack now. I know it seems like a contradiction, but only level 15.2 by Indiana University. I don't see a reason here not to push it really, really hard. Lunar Flare misses. Dimensional Shift was used, but Nasty will extract himself from the situation. Another about 10 seconds or so until Wrath can use that hook again.
Here's a stat that I just made up. I believe Wrath has only missed 1 out of 8 hooks. He's been hitting almost every single hook, and you can just tell, man, he's been on point.
Oh,
There's
man.
another one. Kay's getting caught, and this could be game-ending.
Kay is dying faster than I can even process it. Just seeing the name sweep across the screen, we see the Tyrande ultimate Starfall falling.
Oh.
Massive damage, wilted, 1 foot inside of the Nexus. Might have been able to stay alive, but doesn't even matter. No, Illinois, patience, 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 and pick after pick means Illinois is the final team to advance. The Heroic Four is known, an incredible performance. Now we know for a fact Illinois will be joining our remaining teams for next weekend's final event in Los Angeles at the Shrine Auditorium, live on ESPN, and all because they played so safe, so patient in that last match.
And very, very precise and meticulous there. They come out of this nail-biting 3 battleground match as the victor. They emerged triumphant. And this game in particular was less close, actually, because they played so amazingly well together. All the abilities that they used queued up together, and that was truly a joy to see them really coming into their own there in that final game.
And it was great of Illinois to put their faith in the hands of a player like Wrath. Wrath hit all the hooks. He was on point. And you're going to see a lot of this stuff. We're going to pull up a replay pretty soon and show you guys what exactly we're seeing from the team. And the coordination was just on point. It's not something that you see a lot, especially when you see Stitches. Because Stitches, the way to play against him is you need to go for a full engagement or potentially force yourself in a situation where he hits an incorrect hook, pulls in someone meaty, and then you kind of win the fight from there. And they tried that here, the blue team, Indiana University. Keep an eye here before we actually move forward with the play on Delectra. He needs to get caught here. That's the entire idea. You let the meaty substance get caught, and you have Wilted follow up with an Ancestral Heal. They're going to try and do it here. You'll see Wrath set up for a hook. So let's go ahead and hit play here. Watch out for Wrath. There's a lot of dancing around the tribute. It's very important. They are a little bit behind, by the way, 16-14. But look for Delectra. He's pushing around the bushes, make his teammates look like they're going to get hooked. Delectra does get caught, but Wilted is too far away. He gets focused down. The heal does go down, but it's too late. In fact, it misses. It goes on Buck Nasty. All the heroics are missing here for Indiana University. Their nerves are shooken up here from all the hooks that Wrath has been hitting the entire game. The follow-up is important here. And now you see Illinois getting another hook on K's, and that is potentially game-ending at that point. Nice play there overall for Illinois, and you see them really securing their spot here, winning a 2-1 victory overall, and moving to the Heroic Four. Well done.
A very stunning performance. I mean, I can't echo what you said enough. The fact that there were hooks before the battle, good engagements during the battle, and good hooks as they were trying to run away. Amazing props to Wrath, the MVP of that match. We've talked about Illinois advancing now to the Heroic Four, but Tim, tell us a little bit about the full bracket. What is the final standings at the end of the day?
Yeah, remember, today was the Epic 8, but next week we'll be having the Heroic 4 live at the Shrine Auditorium. So for now, you can see Boston College versus Western Ontario. Boston College did advance. Arizona State advancing over Texas A&M. We had Indiana versus Illinois that we just showed you. Illinois advancing as well. And Berkeley, in a crazy close 2-0 series, was able to take it over Washington. So those 4 teams will be competing next week. Asking you guys, what are you looking forward to? Who do you want to see move forward?
I mean, the big question is if Cal Berkeley can be stopped by anyone, as
Sure.
arguably one of the other top 2, maybe top 3 favorites in Washington was already taken down. They've just looked indomitable. They haven't dropped a single battleground, and it's a pretty big task for their opponents to try and take them down.
And I think that one of the big things that I'm looking for going in to the last weekend, to the grand final, what are the interesting team compositions going to be? We've seen a variety. We've seen Abathur be used very successfully. We saw the obviously insane composition from Washington. And as you said many times in the broadcast, Grubby, there's some solid picks. Sonia, for instance, never even made an appearance in any of the matches today. And given that these players now have a full week to prepare, I can't wait to see what they end up bringing to the final event. Now,
Yeah.
Tim.
Well, we have a lot of people that are very interested in these matches, but of course we have our celebrity bracket brawlers, and how are they doing in their fantasy points? Let's go ahead and check it out right now. In the lead, wow, Matt Sahinki securing the lead here at 760 points. Remember, he was tied with Jesse Cox, so Jesse Cox barely falling behind, and Jimmy Wong, unfortunately, is not able to get any more points, and Malik Forte actually falls to the last place here. So, Sahinki, congrats, man, but remember, there are a couple more matches that will be occurring, as the Heroic 4 will be happening next week at the Shrine Auditorium. Let's go ahead and check out that bracket pretty soon here and see who will be matched up against who.
Yeah, I mean, Grubby, you talked a little bit about the dominance of Cal Berkeley and Illinois. I mean, performed much better than their record, as you suggested. Boston College versus Arizona State will be the other semifinals. Walk me through your predictions of what you expect to see.
I mean, I think the teams that impressed the most so far, just purely in terms of pure execution, is Cal Berkeley and Boston College. I think they both played very well, yet they are on opposite side of the brackets. We are going to start with that Heroic 4 until we finally get to that ultimate round, the grand final. So it's really hard to predict. I think Illinois has a tough mountain to climb in Cal Berkeley, but they also, well, they have the biggest chance to impress. And that's something.
And Tim, of course, I want to hear your quick predictions looking at the Final Four bracket.
I'm going with my original prediction that I did almost 64 picks ago. Arizona State going all the way to the finals. I can feel it. They're going to be against Berkeley, and it's going to be a close match, and they're going to win with a 2-1 victory.
Wow.
Well, of
I'm
course.
sorry, 3-1. My apologies.
Oh, of course, it is best of 5. And I'm going to cheat and just hope that there are interesting team compositions, because we see what the meta has defined as being stable, but Washington gave us a taste of things completely outside the meta that can be absolutely beautiful and very effective. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up our matches for today. But Heroes of the Dorm is not over yet. Next Sunday at the Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles, we will be broadcasting live on ESPN the Final 4 matches. We're going to get the chance to see which of the Heroic 4 will advance to the grand finals, getting a chance to win free tuition for their college career, a massive prize pool for all the students involved. Definitely go to heroesofthedorm.com for all the information on times, where to watch it, and how to join in live and participate at the event.
Yeah, you're not going to want to miss those epic battles, as in the end, only one team will stand triumphant and take home that grand prize of free tuition for their college career.
And make sure to continue the conversation at #StormOfTheDorm. We want to hear what you think and who you think will actually become the Heroes of the Dorm.
I had an absolute blast today. Of course, special thanks to Grubby, Trixler. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Day9. Ladies and gentlemen, good night. We'll see you on the battlefield.
On April 26th, the grand finals for Heroes of the Dorm will take place at the Shrine Expo Hall in Los Angeles, California. Come meet and interact with Blizzard game developers, artists, and players, and try out Heroes of the Storm and other Blizzard games at one of our demo stations. Everyone who attends will get their hands on epic swag, including Heroes beta codes, character skins, a Hearthstone card back, and much more. No tickets necessary, just show up, have fun, and cheer for your favorite collegiate team. Or tune in to the live broadcast on ESPN to watch the grand finals.